Hi, I'm Jamie.
And I'm Dan.
And we are two students who are a part of George Fox's Doctor of Physical Therapy program. And today we are going to show you how you can turn your traditional waffle recipe into something a little bit healthier.
All right, I love waffles. Let's get this going.
All right, so what we are also going to do is not just a waffle, but we are going to show you an alternative to maple syrup that is a lot better for you. So it is going to be a berry compote sauce. We have already started it and it is cooking in the background since it takes like a little bit of time to cook. But what you need for the sauce is a blender, a frozen fruit berry mix. You can pick whatever kind of fruit you want. We are using strawberries, blueberries,
raspberries, and blackberries.
Yeah, and then we also blend that all up, put in a 1/4 cup of almond milk to help with the smoothness, and 2 tablespoons of honey. Once you have it all blended, again, ours is cooking in the back. Bring it to a boil, and once it is boiling, let it simmer on the stove for about 5 minutes.
All right, so now that we have our sauce going, what's the next step here?
Let's make our waffle mix.
All right.
So we'll go and give you a rundown of the ingredients we're using today. So first we have whole wheat flour.
Okay. Now why did we decide to use the whole wheat flour?
So traditional flour that is used in many waffle recipes is bleached to get that really white color that we see. And whole wheat flour doesn't undergo that process as much, so it's a lot less preserved, which makes it much better for you.
Perfect, all right.
We also have almond milk.
Okay.
And we are using almond milk today instead of buttermilk, whole milk, or half and half milk, which is, again, commonly used in waffle recipes because it has lower sugar and lower fat. If you don't like almond milk, what else could be used, Dan?
You can use low-fat milk, 1 or 2%. You can also use the soy milk as well. So kind of whatever your taste is. I really like the almond milk. I think it gives it a nice, good flavor. Yeah,
it's a good texture too. We also have eggs, and then a little bit of salt and baking powder. And then another alternative we're using is we are using olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, instead of butter. Again, it's better for you, and butter again has so much fat in it that it can often, it's just kind of overused a little bit with waffles.
Right.
We have vanilla, and instead of sugar for the recipe, we are using organic honey, and again, a lot better for you.
All right, well, let's get this thing started. Should we start mixing the ingredients?
Let's do it.
All righty.
All right, Dan, you mixed our batter, so...
Yep, here it is, completed. So basically when I was mixing it, I just made sure not to overmix, but I also wanted to make sure that there was no lumps and that all the ingredients got mixed evenly throughout the batter. So the next step, what we're going to do is I'm going to take a scoop of this batter and we're going to throw it on, throw it onto our waffle maker and see how it turns out.
All right, perfect. And make sure when someone is pouring in, like Dan's going to be, that you always leave about like ½ an inch off to the edge so there's enough room for the batter to expand when it cooks.
Perfect. All right, so you go ahead and use that cooking spray there.
I'll get both sides so you can get this puppy out.
Perfect. All right, I'll take a nice big scoop here and I just put it right in the middle.
All right, the last of our waffles is done. Let's take this out.
Looking good here.
And the whole recipe for batter, it made enough to do 5 whole waffles.
All right, so Jamie and I already decorated our waffles. We decided to use a lot of fruit and also some peanut butter and a little bit of honey drizzle.
And then we also topped them both with some of our berry sauce, but you could always also use some sliced nuts, any other fruit that you like. Just try and stay away from the traditional toppings of powdered sugar and chocolate chips and whipped cream and stick to healthier options.
All right. You know, all this cooking has made me pretty hungry, so I think we should dig in.
Let's do it.
Alrighty.
So we are going to be making now a hearty vegetable and bean soup. So we're going to run through some of the vegetables that we are using today. So first we are going to do carrots, green beans, sweet potatoes, but if you are not a fan of sweet potatoes, you could use another potato that you like, or yams, onions, celery, and garlic.
Sounds like a tasty mixture.
Yeah, so we'll add them all in.
Alrighty.
Alright, so now we are going to be adding everything that has been coming from a can. So what we have are some diced tomatoes, kidney beans, corn, white beans, and then just a low sodium vegetable broth. So why don't we add those all in as well?
Alright.
All right, our soup is done and ready to serve.
It smells really good.
Yes, and it pretty easy for the recipe, and it didn't take very long to cook. So we cooked it on high for about 3.5 hours, so it takes 3 to 4 hours to cook. Or you could also cook it on low in the crock pot or Instapot for about 5 to 7 hours. And again, you could cook it about the same amount of time simmering on the stove.
And what's nice too, if you're a person that's on the go and busy all the time, you just get this ready in the morning and then put it on low. And by the time you get home from work, you have a nice hot meal for your family.
Exactly. So why don't we serve it and give it a try?
All right. So if you wanted to make this meal a little bit higher protein, what kind of things could you add?
So instead of using, like we did, a low sodium vegetable broth, you could use a low sodium chicken broth or beef broth in the soup recipe. You could also add a lean meat such as chicken to the soup. And what's nice about the crock pot or making a soup is you just have to throw again all the ingredients in, and it's done by the time you get home.
All right, I'm ready to eat this.
Let's try it.
All righty.